I have to start the presentation now. This afternoon, I hope everything comes together. You will learn how to really classify an athlete. So everything that's going to be done, we will first show you how we do it in a normal classification. Then you try on some scenarios together. And then after 3 o'clock, we have 5 different stations where our athletes, and you can classify them in the right way. So we will make then 5 groups, and you can train. But first, a little bit rehearsal of what we learned in the classification pathway. First, pre-competition. The athlete is entered for classification in the system of the IPC. That is done by his National Paralympic Committee, so the KPC in this case. Or that might be delivered to CASA or the other organization. In the system, we get the medical form. An athlete has to sign and his doctor has to sign, and medical documents like operation documents or from the hospital. Then we check as classifiers if we have enough information or we need more information, and if the impairment is eligible. So if it is an amputation or something else. Or perhaps when someone says it's only pain, then we already say, sorry, it's non-eligible impairment. When it's okay, he's put on the schedule for the classification, and we can find it on the website. And also the NPC and the athlete can find on the website. Next step is he goes to the classification opportunity before his first competition international. And to know where, the time and place is always on the schedule. So the first step, they come there, they go at the right time, and they come to the front desk, the administration desk, and there you have to sign a form that you allow us to do the tests, and that you show your ID, who you are, so all those things are checked. And then you go to the classification room. In the classification room, it's only allowed to be one athlete, the athlete, with one coach, and perhaps someone for translation. But not also the mother and the uncle and the physiotherapist and everyone. It will always be at max 3 people. In the room, we'll first do an interview about how you ski, the training, the experience, what is the diagnosis, the health condition, what impairment do you have, is there something like medication, surgery, and how long ago. And we check the information with the things we have in our system. Next step is we assess. So we do the test we trained on this morning. Say with an amputation, we take the measurement of the length. Or we do the bore test with spinal cord. And very important that you fill in the form correctly and do all tests you need to make your decision. And then the third step, you say what sport class is going to be given. And sometimes you need to discuss it with your other classifier. So then you ask the coach and athlete to go out of the room. You have your discussion. And really use your flow chart to see, okay, where do I end? Use your rule book to check if it's really the right class. And perhaps in your discussion you say, oh, I missed the information. I have to ask the athlete back again and do some more tests. There's somewhere you say, okay, this is sport class LW3. And then you must also think on, okay, you first in the sport class, you say it's enough impairment, it goes to LW3. Or perhaps you say it's not eligible, it's not enough impairment to be in the alpine skiing or Nordic skiing. But when you have your sport class, then you must also think on the status. The status is how permanent this class will be. Say when someone has an amputation, it's permanent, and then we give confirmed sport class. We don't expect that it will change. Or when you think it might be changing because he's a young athlete, it's an athlete new to the sport, his spinal cord injury was 1 year ago, so there might be change. Then we give review with a fixed date. You say the season where the next classification must be done, say when someone is 12, I say in 4 years, so I would say review 2021, in this case. Or when you almost sure, but you need a little bit more information, so you want to see him on the next classification opportunity, then you only say review. So then someone is allowed to raise, and we can observe, but he's not allowed to raise after the next classification opportunity. And it's important for knowing also those things, because when you have a review status without a date, then you cannot compete on major competitions like World Championships or the Games. So that's important to know. Sometimes we don't have enough evidence. We need more medical information, or sometimes the athlete we cannot test completely because he is pain, is afraid, or perhaps is a little bit difficult to approach. Then we say classification not completed. He cannot race, must come back another time. And we also decide, do we need to do the observation on snow to be really sure which class it is? An amputation we will not observe, but the spinal cord injury we always observe on snow. Then athlete and coach come back, we tell the decision, we sign all the paperwork, and there comes a list with the outcome after classification, and everything is going to be put in the system. And it needs to be done in time because the start list needs to be made. So there must be a class on the start list. And when there's needs for observation, we arrange that as well. So this is the classification pathway, and we will play this part. We'll show you. And we've started with the first step, but we have our administrator who's going to see me as an athlete.
Good morning. Good morning. And your name is? Sandra. Okay. You're coming for class?
It's not working again.
Oh, yes.
I'm writing down your name. You're from Holland? Your date of birth?
It's on the paper.
Before we start with the classification, I would like... Okay, the consent form explains how the process is from classification, and if you agree, you can sign it on the back side of the paper. Yeah, yes, it's one page. So she's signing the consent form that she is agreeing with the whole process of classification.
I'm the coach of the athlete. I have to sign as well.
Okay, thank you. I think you can... Yeah, the classification panel is waiting for you. Okay, I can show you. So, please.
Hello. Rangwell, nice to meet you.
Hello, Katerina.
Please sit.
Hi.
Okay, Sandra. Welcome to classification. Have you been to classification before?
Yes, I've been for cycling.
Okay, so you know a bit about what we're going to do here today then?
Yes, you ask me things and you test things, and then I go get my class.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we're going to do today. So, well, first we just need to look you up in SDMS. And let's see, yeah. Okay, there we have you. So we're going to ask, like you said, we're going to ask you a bit about your training background and stuff. But first, are you a sitting or a standing skier?
That's a good question. I'm a sitting skier.
Oh, yeah. What kind of ski do you use?
I have a Prasberger.
Ah, Prosper. Oh, good choice. Do you have any special equipment on your ski?
No, no.
And you use 2 outriggers, I hope?
Yeah.
Yeah, great. So, how long have you been para-alpine skiing?
For 5 years now.
Okay. And have you been competing?
Only national.
Only for
In
how
the-
many
in-
years?
2 times.
2 times, okay. And how many training sessions per week?
Now it's going to be 4 times a week.
Okay, and on snow?
1 or 2 times a week.
1 or 2? Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's indoor snow.
And what about other training?
We do in the gym.
Yeah.
So we do weightlifting and conditioning and yeah, things like that.
Yeah.
Muscles of the abdominals, the back.
Yeah. Great. So I need to ask you a bit about your diagnosis.
I have a above knee amputation.
Okay, was it due to a traumatic injury?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long ago?
6 years ago.
6 years. So you started skiing a year after the injury.
I tried it already earlier,
Ah,
but then
yeah.
yeah. I wanted to ski again because I was skiing so much.
Yeah. That's great. So, yeah, left or right?
Right.
The right, yeah. Usually we can see when she walks in, but sometimes we can't, and on Sandra we can't, so then we need to ask. So the right side. And do you use any medication?
Nothing. No.
Nothing. No pain medication?
No.
No. And what about other operations? Have you had any?
I had a correction of the stump last year.
Okay. Nothing
No.
else? No. So it's when it's amputation, then the classification is quite quick. We're just going to measure, like you said, measure the length of your stump. So if you would just take up your
Prosthetic. That's
prosthetic,
difficult.
will you do the measurement?
I cannot take off my
Like
prosthetic.
right?
So we would ask, hello? Oh. We would ask the athlete to remove their prosthetic leg. Clearly Sandra doesn't have a prosthetic leg, so her leg stays on. And then we would measure the stump.
It can also be on the bed, but it was difficult now.
36 centimetres.
Okay.
Okay, and there's no other health conditions, Sandra?
No.
No? Very good. Okay, so we don't need to look at any of the other assessments. I'm just going to have a chat to Rangweld about your class. Do you mind stepping out of the room with the coach, and then we'll ask you to come back in?
Please remember to put on your foot first.
Okay.
So yeah, it's quite simple when.
So Sandra, actually we'll put it to the room. Sandra has an above knee amputation and she sit skis. Can anyone tell us what her class might be? Speak up. 12. 12.2,
Yeah.
correct, yes. And we can confirm that status because it's unlikely to change.
Yeah.
So we would confirm it today. If her medical condition were to change in the future, she could come back to us with medical documentation. Otherwise, very simple, LW 12.2 confirmed.
Okay, then we'll call her back.
Okay, Sandra, come back in.
Okay, so as you probably figured, we put you in the class that's called LW 12.2.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know the class?
12.2, that's
Yeah.
with all the others with only amputations.
Yeah, that's correct. So, and we will also confirm you because sadly it won't grow back. So then we don't need to see you anymore.
But when I want to ski on one leg, standing,
Yeah, for now you have you choose to sit ski, and you can sit ski for this 1 year, and then you can tell us, oh, I need to, or I want to try to stand when skiing.
I'm training now in standing,
Yeah.
yes.
Then you can just let us know at the end of the season, and then we'll take you back in and make another classification, and then you can be a standing skier because you can fit in both the classes.
Okay.
And you can also choose to, that's hard, but you can also choose to ski with your prosthetic leg.
Oh, no.
No. So you have a lot of possibilities, but you need to let us know. And you also, if there's something that your health condition is getting worse, you can always ask for a medical review. But if you want to, like I said, if you want to be a standing skier next season, then just let us know after this season.
Okay.
Okay? Then we'll just finish the paperwork. And I write that I don't need to observe her on the snow, and we confirm. And my signature. And the second classifier's signature. And the athlete's signature and date. Yeah. And it's also good to have the coach's signature because she's been in the room.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Do I sign to say that I agree or not with the class? This is the reason for my signature?
You sign to say that we have discussed your class, discussed the athlete's class, and that you agreeing in that we discussed it. So that's why you're signing, but you're able to protest afterwards. 1 hour, yeah.
Okay. Is this working? No? Yes.
Yeah, it's working.
And when I race tomorrow, they know that I'm not a standing skier because it was on the list that I was standing.
Yeah.
And they know that I will be sitting tomorrow?
Yeah, after this, we finished all the classifications, we will deliver all the results, and they will upload it to SDMS, and they will make the start list with the new classes. So it will be okay.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you.
Good luck tomorrow.
Bye.
And done.